sit down, Muthui, you're going to get a chance next. But before you sit down, Muthui, I was hoping, because this is an area you are very well versed with, I was hoping that this is a perfect example where, for the first time, Parliament, not the executive, Parliament will move for using 223. Why must we wait for the ministry? I was hoping that you'll advise us as Parliament that at least for the first time Parliament would be suggesting to the executive that this is a fit case for 223. What do you think about that?
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I will take it up as the chairperson of the Departmental Committee of Finance and National Planning and raise this with National Treasury. In fact, we have a meeting with them next week on the Sovereign Wealth Fund and some other business relating to this house. And we'll raise up with them. They should use Article 223 to release this money. The same way they're using Article 223 to build roads.
There, can Parliament itself sitting today ask for it without going to Treasury?
The Parliament is a budget-making house. The power of using of execution of 223 lies with the Cabinet Secretary for National Treasury. But there's nothing that will stop this house as a budget-making house to start the initiative and do a resolution.
Thank you.
From this particular discussion, that National Treasury should use Article 223 to disperse these monies for these particular teachers. And perhaps this is one of the resolutions that this house should resolve today. You should read that resolution and we put a vote that National Treasury will be forced to use Article 223 to disperse money so that our teachers can be paid, because the matter of national exams is a matter of national security.
Thank you. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. And while I'm putting my word on the use of Article 223, Honorable Speaker, I also would like to hear a very clear apology from the Minister to the teachers that marked the exams and they never got, Honorable Speaker, their pay. Honorable Speaker, my mother and father-in-law are teachers, and the people who went to mark exams and sleep in very, very dilapidated places, Honorable Speaker, for close to 1 or 2 weeks. Honorable Speaker, this is one of the most unfair things that has happened to this country. We cannot continue treating teachers, Honorable Speaker, like second-generation citizens and workers in government. Teachers cannot be crying about their pay. They cry about their allowances. They cry about their healthcare system, Honorable Speaker. And we are here almost clapping to the Minister, Honorable Speaker. The Minister must rise and apologize to the teachers. Because, Honorable Speaker, if it was not for us calling in this house, and you can see exams were marked last year, Honorable Speaker. We're not talking of something that happened in March. It is actually a show of negligence in the ministry, Honorable Speaker. And I want to hear a clear apology from the ministry.
Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for this opportunity. Marking exams is a cost. Supervision, invigilation, printing, and everything is a cost. It is the government that it is this house that appropriates money for the exams, or rather the government pays for the exam. Why can't they include the money for marking exams, the way they supervise, the way they transport, even using planes to some centers in this country, only to find teachers after marking suffering? Why should that cost be included forthwith, rather than talking about invoking Article 223 all the time and looking for money from the Treasury, pleading with the Treasury for the sake of teachers? Teachers should be respected. Teachers should be paid upfront after marking their exams.
Honorable Kiara.
Honorable Speaker, examination marking and preparation of examination is an annual event. It is something that is known year in, year out, Honorable Speaker. And when the CS sits here and tells this house they are looking for money, and this is work that has already been done, Honorable Speaker, the teachers of this country cannot continue suffering under a system that is not well structured to ensure that the examiners are paid their dues immediately after executing their work. Honorable Speaker, teachers are not taking it lightly. They cannot be going to the streets to demand what is rightfully theirs all the time. Honorable Speaker, I want to challenge the CS and say, where you get money, let teachers be paid before they embark on another journey of being examiners again from September onwards. Honorable Speaker, thank you.
The Honorable Mercy. You want to speak on this?
Yes. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, picking up from where Mheshimiwa, my friend, has left from. The expenditure for payment of invigilators is not an unforeseen expenditure. Actually, we shouldn't even be using 223 to pay invigilators, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, this is an expenditure that should be planned for, just like salaries for teachers, just like SHA, just like looking for money. Honorable Speaker, we are not serious.
Thank you.
And I want to say even I am a member of the Education Committee. The figures were there. And the money for.
Thank you. The Honorable Kombe.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I believe the money for the examiners is always budgeted for. And if that is not true, let the minister tell us it is not true, and what plans has he for the exams or the examiners that are going to mark the exams this year? Is there a budget for them? Let us know.
Thank you.
And let action be taken.
The Honorable Basaris.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I think, you know, when we as leaders from the executive and parliament throw at each other accusations, then we don't get into the right direction. I believe that we are the ones who are, you know, listening to Mary Amase, if the budget was put, and I'm sure the ministry did not make a mistake and not put the budget for the things that they wanted. But if then when the Committee of Education says this is what needs to be approved, and then it goes to the Budget Committee and other things are prioritized, then again the ball falls back to our own parliament. So I believe that while we're here interrogating and demanding action and attention from the CS of Education, we also have to take responsibility to ensure that we provide adequate budgets. And then if we have provided adequate budgets, then we can actually say we provided the money, why hasn't it been paid? But if we didn't provide the money, surely, where is he going to pay it?
The Honorable Dr. Mutunga.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, I associate myself with the comments and questions by my colleagues. And I want to start to take a slightly different approach, Honorable Speaker. I know this question might have been asked some times back, but as we evaluate examination and the quality of examination, and as we evaluate the future of education in this country, the future of professional development in this country, and as we look at CBE, Honorable Speaker, I would like the Minister to comment and tell us whether the assessment that is going on at various stages at grade 6 and grade 9, and I don't know whether there will be another one at grade 12, whether these assessments are actually the same or better than exams. The other issue, Honorable Speaker, has to do with teachers who turn politicians when the time comes. We are going into the political season, and we would like to know the disciplinary mechanism that the ministry uses. Because, Honorable Speaker, I have on a number of occasions protested to the ministry about these issues. Teachers becoming politicians, abandoning schools, and even fighting existing members of parliament. Honourable Speaker, can the minister tell us how is the discipline?
Honourable Karoli, do you want to ask a follow-up question on this? Okay. So then, the Honourable CS, you've heard the questions, and include there whether these monies that you are saying you don't have, were they budgeted for in, because I don't agree with the issue of supplementary. Did we have this in the main budget, 2025, 2026?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The ministry presented the requirements of what NEC required in the main budget. It was not provided for. We then, again, that is how we got the 3.1 billion under 223, because they did not provide for it in the budget. And the people, the honorable members from the Education Committee can bear us witness. And even for this year, we presented what the requirements were to the committee. The committee then presented to the budget committee, and it was slashed. So there is no provision for the 4.7 billion that is required to pay for the examiner. So really, the fault is not with the ministry. We do not have this money in the ministry that we are not paying. If we had it, the easiest thing that we could do is the payment. So really the challenge is, can we have, going forward, once this request or requirement is given, for it to be prioritized and be granted the way it is provided, instead of it being slashed, leading to the challenge that we are in now. So the money was not budgeted for, in the sense that it was slashed after we did the presentation. And that is the perennial challenge we've had previously in NEC. And that is...
CS, I want us to get this clear, because this has to stop. We can't have you answering this question every single year. Yes. Yeah. So, at the sector level, when the budget for 25-26 was brought to this House, had the money been slashed at your sector level by the Treasury, or it came to Parliament with the money is there and Parliament removed? I would like to know that, because saying Parliament slashed means that this money was already there. At the sector level, because we know how the budget process works. At the sector level, when the budget of 25-26 was presented to this House, was the money there or not?
Can you give me a minute? I confirm that.
Go ahead as they confirm. You can answer the rest of the question as your team.
Well, the question is simply just that we are ready to pay, the money is not provided for, it's not there. So what we've been doing is negotiate with Treasury to see what else can be done, including requesting them to provide us with those resources under Article 223. That's what we've been doing.
And so the monies you're saying you've received, how do you then decide who you're paying and who you're not paying? When you receive 160 million against 600 million, who then qualifies to be paid first? How do you decide who's going to be paid first and who's going to be paid last? Then Bomboko, you have...
So let me speak to this. What does the minister mean by the word negotiating? Exams were done. Teachers supervised and marked. The ministry is negotiating with Treasury to see whether, if it can pay or not. That's not a statement from that's not a serious statement. I don't want to demean minister, but minister must speak to this, and you are asking him at the sector level, is this money in the budget? That's a very important question as a beginning point to see how we shall move forward with it.
Because Mary Massey said something very important, and all of us know this. All of us know that every single year there will be exams. That every single year there will be invigilation, there will be supervision, there will be marking, and there will be all these things. This has become a crisis every single year. CS, I hope you've gotten your answer back. Please proceed.
At the sector level, the budget was there, it was slashed by Treasury. Yes.
Not by Parliament.
Not by Parliament.
Okay. Yes, Honorable Marcia.
Honorable Chair, you know, I was a former member of the Budget Committee.
Correct.
When the ministry, when they share the cake at the sector level, the ministry is given a ceiling. So it is up to the ministry to prioritize their functions. So if they bring a budget proposal to the committee, having prioritized this particular expenditure, then it will go through. But most of the times it also comes to us as a wish list. You know, when you take it to the budget committee, a wish list, and you expect the budget committee to look for the money from heaven to give it to you, also it becomes a challenge.
Thank you. The Honorable CS, this is the position that we are in, all of us, that the ministry knows that this will be a crisis and money will be found. That's what the ministry does every single year. So you pen it, you let teachers cry, it becomes a crisis, then now you have to look for money. It's a bad way of doing things. It has to stop. Speaking from the chair, I want to direct that within those 14 days that you said you're going to bring us a report on the uniforms and the rest, we would like to know when Parliament receives some recess from you, there's a direction, how far you'll have gone in getting money for paying teachers in 14 days. 14 days. And I would like to order that you do a letter to the substantive speaker explaining how far your efforts are, the urgency of the matter being of importance.
I'm well guided, Mr. Speaker.
No, this is spent, Honorable Mboko. Okay, what is it?
Honorable Speaker, I plead with you that 14 days is too far. And that, like we had thought resolved earlier, that we resolve that this Parliament urges the Executive to use 223 to pay teachers in the next 3, 4, 5 days. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
The Honorable CS, you've had 14 days. If we can get an answer by next Thursday, and if you need the intervention of Parliament to make Treasury act, please write to our minister so that this, to the Speaker, so that this is expedited. So the next would be now, and there's Honorable CS, you're going to be here with us for a while today. So I hope you have enough water with you there. If there's no water, please, the Sergeant at Arms, please provide the CS with enough water. You got questions by private notice, starting with the member for Busia, Honorable Mani. Please go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Could the Cabinet Secretary, one, explain the circumstances under which the Kenya Institute of Management has operated without accreditation since 2018, including the awarding of certificates, diplomas, and other qualifications. Two, outline the measures being taken to safeguard the academic and professional rights of persons who obtained certificates from Kenya Institute of Management during the period in which it lacked accreditation. Three, state the steps being taken to resolve the matter given the institution's long-standing reputation as a national and international center of excellence in professional and academic training. And lastly, indicate the actions the ministry has taken or intends to take against management of Kenya Institute of Management and the relevant regulatory bodies for gross negligence, lack of duty of care, or failure to undertake regulatory oversight over the institution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Proceed, Minister.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I beg to respond to the three sub-questions together as follows. Mr. Speaker, as indicated, the TVET authority found that while KIM was accredited to offer TVET CEDAC courses, it was still conferring internal qualifications without mandate. Mr. Speaker, we appreciate that the non-compliance and the resultant action by the TVET authority raised profound questions that affect multiple stakeholders, including persons who have obtained certificates from the institution. It also exposes certain legal gaps pertaining to the place of institutions that were previously qualification awarding bodies under the repealed Education Act. KIM has the right under Section 37 of the TVET Act to appeal against the decision by the TVET Authority. And indeed, KIM has already lodged an appeal this morning by the decision that was made by TVETA by a letter dated 21st of April 2026, which we received earlier today. A copy of that letter is provided in the response. As a ministry, Mr. Speaker, we are committed to addressing and resolving the matter at hand through a deliberative and consultative approach that safeguards the interests of innocent third parties, like the students who have already graduated, while also ensuring compliance with the law and promoting credibility of our education system. We will seek to ensure that going forward, all institutions are compliant and that no student is disenfranchised. We are also carefully reviewing the matter for possible corrective action against any party that may have been negligent in their duties and obligations. Mr. Speaker, since this is a quasi-judicial process, and the appeal under Section 36 of the TVETA Act has been made to me, I seek the indulgence of the House not to prejudice the consideration of the appeal by making anticipatory comments on the matter. But I can assure the House that we have already written to TVETA to do a response to that appeal, and we are due to have a hearing tomorrow in the afternoon with a view to resolving this matter within the next 2-3 days, so that everybody is not in that state of not being sure of what is going to happen to them.
Yes, the Honorable, I think the first bite belongs to the member who asked the question. One of the questions. One of the questions, you have the first shot at a supplementary question again? Or would you want that to go to other members of parliament while you are preparing yourself?
Yes, kindly.
Okay, Bedzimba.
Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika. Kulingana na swala hilo ni kwamba Wizara ya Elimu ni kazi yao na jukumu lao la kufuatilizia elimu ya aina yoyote inayofanyika hapa katika taifa hili. Na ni hatari sana kwa matangazo yaliyotolewa kwamba kuanzia mwaka 2018 zile shahada zote zilizotoka ni gushi, na kuna wengine wanafunzi wale walihitimu hapo wameajiriwa. Sasa imekuwa na utata mkubwa kulingana na tumia shahada ambayo matangazo yanasema kwamba ni gushi. Mimi ningeomba wizara, wakati wale wametia appeal kwamba izungumzwe, itoke na statement, itoe taarifa kwamba zile shahada wanafunzi walizokuwa nazo ambazo wanazo hazijafutiliwa mbali mpaka apili hiyo ishe, ili wale watoto wale wanafunzi waendelee na kazi zao. Wazazi wameuza mashamba yao, wazazi wameuza mali zao kwa sababu kufundisha watoto wao. Ndio sababu ya uzembe wa wizara. Mombasa Aviation walisoma wanafunzi zaidi ya miaka 10, halafu wakaja wakatangaza siku moja kwamba si halali. Hii ni kwamba wizara ya elimu haijielewi yaenda vipi. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Spika.
Kabla hajajibu waziri, huwezi kuchanganya Kiswahili na Kizungu. Ukisema mpaka hiyo apili ishe, hapana, mpaka hiyo rufani ishe. Endelea Mheshimiwa Waziri.
I'm totally in agreement with the honorable member that the certificates that were issued between the 2018 and the time we'll make the decision are valid certificates, and we're going to deal with that in the appeal, and we'll be making our comprehensive statements on it. That is the position. So I'm just saying that we'll look at the whole issue and we'll communicate in the next 2 days on the position of all those certificates, including what steps we are going to take to ensure that KIM complies with the law. Thank you.
Yes, the Honorable
The Honorable MP for Funyula.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Many of us who have known KIM for many, many years were really taken aback. We were shocked to the core. Many who have collaborated with them in many training sessions on corporate governance and the rest. But nevertheless, probably this is also an indicator and an eye-opener. And we want the ministry and the cabinet secretary to come out very clear. There are so many private institutions and colleges in this country that operate like TVET. Now, members of public are going to become afraid. Does it mean quite a number of these private institutions are not duly certified to offer those diploma courses, certificate courses, and short courses? What's the fate? We need to be very clear. Do we need to go, when you go there, need to ask for the certificate? Or is there a repository where a member of public can go and check and ascertain whether this is a public certified institution or this is a private institution that's not certified? Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
I suggest, Honorable Minister, you take a few questions and then you answer them together. Anybody else? Yes, yes. Mheshimiwa Kaloleni. Is it Kaloleni? No, Magarini. Magarini. Endelea kuuliza swali.
Asante Mheshimiwa Spika. Sikuwa nanuia kutumia Kiswahili lakini vile umenianzishia wacha niendelee. Mheshimiwa Spika, swali langu linaelekea kwamba rufaa imekatwa. Na ikizingatiwa kwamba rufaa iliyokatwa huenda ikachukuliwa au ikakataliwa. Iwapo imekataliwa, kuna mikakati gani ambayo itachukuliwa kufidia wale wanafunzi ambao wamekuwa katika chuo hicho mpaka sasa? Asante Mheshimiwa Spika.
Swali la tatu, Mheshimiwa, uliza swali lako pia.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'll talk in English. What baffles me, Mr. Speaker, is that I am sure that there are some students from Kenya Institute of Management who underwent interviews at the Public Service Commission, our public employer, and were given jobs. What does that say about our public institutions and the salaries that they may have earned? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Minister, you could answer those three questions, and then we take another round, one last round on that matter.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The TVETA Act came into operation in 2013. It was actually passed in 2013 and came into operation in 2015. The institutions that were operating as TVET then were required to be accredited by them, and a number of them have already been done so. So this is a question that we'll be dealing with on a case-by-case basis on those private institutions. But with respect to KIM itself and the certificates that the students got from 2018 and the period within which it was operating under legal order, those certificates are valid. The appeal that we'll be dealing with is an appeal with respect to compliance going forward. So that is something that we already seized, and as I said, within the next 2 days, we'll issue a comprehensive statement to ensure that there is no person qualified under KM with a certificate